Hello everyone. Today we are taking a deep dive into this New York Post story, Dell stock surges on deal with Pentagon, making CEO $31 billion richer overnight. We are going to break down exactly what happened here and what the real story is behind this deal and why every investor needs to pay attention. But before that, you are watching Decode Daily News, where we take the biggest business and finance stories and decode them so anyone can understand. If you are not subscribed yet, hit that button right now. So let us get into it. Dell stock surged over 30% on Friday, so that line really caught my attention, and here is why a 30% single-day jump is not a normal market move. That is the kind of number you see when something fundamentally changes how investors see a company. Not just good earnings, not just a solid quarter, something that reshapes the entire story. Let's see what is written ahead in this same news paragraph. Boosting founder and CEO Michael Dell's net worth by some $34 billion. Now sit with that for a second. $34 billion in one day. That is not wealth. That is a category of money most people cannot even visualize. And it tells you something important about how concentrated the upside of AI is becoming. A handful of people at the top of the right companies are capturing gains that most investors will never see proportionally. And this is where the real story is. Shares in Dell went on a tear after the company reported first quarter growth in artificial intelligence hardware, and that one line changes everything. Dell has been quietly repositioning itself for years. Most people still think of Dell as a laptop company, but the numbers tell a very different story now. AI hardware is where the growth is, and Dell has been building into that space hard. And then came the number that changed everything. And details emerged about its new $9.7 billion contract with the Department of War. Pause right there. A nearly $10 billion government contract is not something companies win on product quality alone. These deals come with relationships, timing, and positioning. And the timing here is worth noting, because the article also mentions that the current administration had bought Dell stock just months before this deal was announced. Now this is the part I could not move past. Revenue for the company's AI server segment reached $16.1 billion in the quarter. And think about what that actually means. $16.1 billion in one quarter from AI servers alone. That is bigger than Dell's entire PC business. The company most people still associate with computers is now making more money selling the infrastructure that powers artificial intelligence than it makes selling the computers themselves. That is a full identity shift, and the market is finally pricing it in. And he did not stop there. Dell revised upwards its full-year AI revenue expectations to $60 billion. And here is the part that hits different. They came into the year guiding for $50 billion. Now they are saying 60. That $10 billion upward revision in a single quarter tells you the AI spending cycle is not slowing down. It is accelerating. And Dell is sitting right in the middle of that wave. So that is exactly where my take comes in. But real quick, before I give you my take, this video is for educational purposes only, not financial advice. Always do your own research before making any investment decisions. So the stock surge is real. The growth is real. But anytime a company's stock moves 30% in a single day, that kind of move already prices in a lot of future growth. The question is not whether Dell is doing well, it clearly is. The question is what is already baked into the price. The Pentagon contract also raises questions worth asking. When government contracts arrive shortly after political connections are made visible, that is worth thinking about carefully, not as a conspiracy, but as a risk factor. Government contracts can be renewed or they can be canceled. The AI server business is genuinely impressive, but Dell is not the only player in this space. Competitors are moving fast. Margins on hardware are always under pressure. Revenue growth is exciting, but what matters for long-term investors is whether that revenue becomes durable profit. So watch this one carefully. The story is real. The growth is real. But 30% in a single day means expectations are now very high, and high expectations are where risk quietly builds. If you found this breakdown useful, like this video, and subscribe so you never miss an episode of Decode Daily News. And I want to hear from you in the comments. Do you think Dell's government ties are helping build a real business or creating a risk that investors are ignoring right now?